What's up, peeps? It's your man, Harkana Jala, aka the Bad Boy for Smart Black People TV. And let's apply some fucking intelligence to it. So everybody is going out of their minds wondering what the hell is going on because Donald Trump, almost 2 weeks after he lost the election, still refuses to admit that he lost it, refuses to concede, is engaging in this all-out fantasy, like psychotic break, that he somehow won the election, even though he's 6 million votes behind in total. He lost 5 battleground states by greater margins than he barely won them against Hillary Clinton in 2016. Joe Biden has won 306 electoral votes to Trump's 232. So he's done. And yet everybody's wondering, what the is going on? Why won't he concede? You know, yesterday, early morning, he tweeted out, well, Biden won because the election was rigged. And then later, he doubled back and said, I concede nothing. And then this morning, he tweeted out in all caps, I won the election. And everybody's going crazy trying to figure out what is going on. Well, let me just tell you really quick and simple what's going on. I did a whole video about how Donald Trump is a malignant narcissist. And because of that, he really has no choice but to act in the ways that he acts. This is something I could have told you back in 2016. This was going to happen when he loses. But there's more to it than that. There's also a very conscious side to what he is doing. And this, I've been saying this since election night, and it was borne out over the weekend by some of his closest advisors who leaked out that Trump knows he's lost, but what he's worried about right now and trying to figure out is not how to actually overcome and overturn the election results. He knows he can't do that. He's focused on, how do I monetize this? How do I monetize this and use the millions of people who are in the Trump cult? That's what it is. It is a full-on cult right now. And I've got a whole video coming up on why it's a cult, the Trump supporters. Anybody that wants to debate that with me, you can put that in the comments underneath the video. And I will, not to be immodest, but I will shred every tenet you try to put forth to dispute that this is a cult. Trump has a cult of millions of people, and this is the crux of why this is important. He has a cult with millions of people in America in it, and he is going to monetize and leverage the power of having that cult to the hilt. That's what he does. But if you need a little quick example of proof, here's something that happened just over the weekend. Like all cult leaders, what Trump occasionally does is he will test to reinforce his cult's loyalty, and he will occasionally treat them like shit just to keep them in their place and keep them locked in, like a pimp does his hoes. So, for example, when Trump came out with the whole "don't believe your eyes," the election was stolen, it was fraudulent, don't believe your eyes that the other guy won all these 6 million more votes than me, won an additional 70 electoral votes, that's not real. I'm telling you, I won this election, period, end of story, simply because I said it. He tested that, his cult went right along with it. Against all evidence of their eyes and their 5 senses, they went along with that. That was a test. And then, over the weekend, he did one of the cult leader moves, which is to treat them like shit, to keep them in their place and reinforce his position of ultimate and total supremacy over them. He let them do this little Million MAGA March thing in DC, where you had 20,000-30,000 Trump supporters pour out into the streets waving Trump flags, and some of them had Nazi swastika flags and whatever else y'all do, you Trump cult members, all talking about stop the steal and the election's a fraud and 4 more years and Trump's our president, etc., etc. You know the fucking music by now, right? What did Trump do? Trump drives his motorcade right through the middle of all this supporters so they can wave him on like a dictator. He shoots live footage of it from his motorcade going through. He drives right through him on his way to his fucking golf course to play golf. Let me remind you, this is all while, let him tell it, an election is being stolen and these people are out in the streets protesting it. He drives right through him on his way to his golf course, just to let him know, yes, you fucking peon ants, you serve, obey, and worship me. And just getting a chance to touch the hem of my garment, to wave or touch my motorcade as I drive through you fucking worthless peasant inchworms, is all you should need to make your life complete. And for many of them it is. So there's an example of Trump showing, proving for the world, these motherfuckers are in my cult. They my bitches. But let's get to the real point of this discussion, okay? Understand the existence of that cult is why Donald Trump will never concede. And also why I guarantee you 90 to 95% of the Republicans who are elected or trying to get elected will go along with him no matter how long he takes this. Because you see those millions of loyal Trump cult members are 100% at his beck and call. And again, that's why he demonstrates this with outlandish shit like he does to show people, these are my bitches, they do what I say. And because of that, his control and power over them is his golden ticket to ruling the Republican Party until he no longer has that grip. Here's why. I've told you guys many times before. I worked in the marketing industry, was an expert online marketer for 10 plus years. And I've told you guys many times before, we are in the influencer age. We are in the age where attention and influence is the currency, not money. If you have massive attention and can influence people on a massive level, you can turn that into money non-stop, forever ad infinitum. Trump has the influence over tens of millions of loyal sheep-like followers. They will do whatever he says. They will follow wherever he goes. They will vote or not vote for whoever he says. You following me? So Trump has the entire Republican Party held hostage right now. This is why some smart motherfuckers like Paul Ryan's a fucking amoral douche, but he's smart. He just got the fuck out early on. Did you catch that? Some of them saw it coming. At this point, Trump is the ruler of the Republican Party because he has tens of millions of people who he can, with a snap of his fingers, or should I say, 15-second tweet from his fat little orange fingers, he can move tens of millions of people to do what he wants them to do for who he wants them to do. So, Republicans going to ride with him because they don't want his minions, millions of minions, turned against them. Trump can have them lose an election. Hence, motherfuckers like Lindsey Graham and the turtle, what's his name? Moscow Mitch McConnell. Those two fucking sleaze bags with no integrity, flat out lied to the American people, said that it is not right to even hold a vote on a Supreme Court justice so close to an election back in 2016 when it was 8 months away from the election, and then turned around and did the exact opposite, turned around and voted on and confirmed a Supreme Court justice less than 30 fucking days before the 2020 election. And Lindsey fucking Graham is on, you can look this up. Lindsey Graham's on video saying, use my words against me if this happens in the future. Use these words against me that I said this is not right to do, to see the Supreme Court justice so close to an election. They did that shit and got by with it. No political penalty. You know why? Because they rolled with Trump, and Trump had his people, had their back. If Trump had snapped his fingers and said, these guys are fuckholes, they are our enemies, they'd be preparing to sit home right now. So Trump has the Republican Party by the balls right now. And if you understand, if you watch my previous video, I'll put a link in the description on Trump being a malignant narcissist. You know, the worst position in life you can ever be in is to have a malignant narcissist have you by the balls. He's going to squeeze and squeeze until they scream, because he's sadistic. Not because he necessarily needs to, but because he's a sadist. He loves creating pain, humiliating others. It's his thing. He gets off on it. So understand, nothing's going to change. See, Trump, there's not only any political penalty for him continuing with this insane, I won the election fraud, ruse, hoax. Not only is there no political penalty for it, him continuing that, but he has everything to gain. As a matter of fact, the penalty would occur if he were to somehow reverse course and say, quote unquote, take the high road, like some of y'all on the left are so proud to talk about. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying in war, it doesn't always lead to victory. Because see, Trump knows taking the high road, embracing truth, being gracious, would actually penalize him in the eyes of his followers. It would make him look weak. It would make them question him and possibly lead towards his spell over them being broken. Like when the Wizard of Oz is unmasked and they see it's just a little frail man behind that big Oz face, right? People lose their reverence. They lose their worship for the figure. They're likely to come out of the cult. And Trump doesn't want that. He needs it on a personal level because of his absolutely critically weak, fragile self-concept, self-esteem, and delicate snowflake ego. He needs that worship on a personal level. You've seen that. That's why he's always at rallies every chance he can get. The only thing he does more than golf is go to rallies. I guarantee you, and I challenge anybody to challenge this, I guarantee you, if Trump had the opportunity between getting a blowjob and doing a rally, he takes the rally 10 times out of 10 times. So he needs the worship on a personal level, but also practically, it is where his power lies. Holding that cult, that Trump cult, tightly in hand, willing to do his bidding, is where his power lies and where he can guarantee himself, again, the thing he wants most, which is attention and the perception of relevance, even after he's out of the office. And even if he goes to prison, which I highly doubt, but, he will certainly have a shot when they kick his fat ass out of office, because there's about 25 pending lawsuits and a couple of criminal investigations that look like they're going forward in New York. So he's got problems, but it'll be okay. He'll be okay sitting in prison as long as he has a throng he can control outside that love him and worship him. So just understand, in case you were wondering, you can know for the future, Trump's never going to concede, and the Republicans are going to ride or die with him because he holds their futures in his fat little orange little hands. So look, if you disagree, you think you got something that can disprove anything I just said, or you agree with me, make sure you post it in the comments. That's what Smart Black People TV is all about. Intelligent discussion and even debate, sometimes back and forth, so we can always get to the truth, because as Jesus is being credited with saying, the truth shall set you free. All right, so I appreciate you being here. Make sure you drop your comment below. Make sure you hit the like button right now if you haven't already. That really helps us with the YouTube algorithm. It helps our video to show up, let YouTube know that we have real smart people who are watching this, not bots. Make sure you share this video with your friends if they're smart. No dumbasses allowed, as always. And subscribe. Hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you get all our videos in the future. I appreciate y'all being here, and as always, stay informed, stay brave, stay black, and stay smart. Peace.